Hey, what's up guys, Soldier Knows Best here. So today I'm going to be giving you a camera comparison between the cameras on the iPhone XS Max and the new Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So yeah, these are both very shiny phones as you can see, but I wanted to do a comparison with this phone before the new iPhone comes out soon and just against this new beast of a phone that's out. So let's go and jump right into it with the first set of photos, which are going to be some that I took at night. And on the left hand side, you have the one from the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, which I did take using their night mode, which is a dedicated mode to brighten up your nighttime scenes. And on the iPhone, you just have just the regular mode. And just for what it is, it did a pretty decent job. But if you're really trying to kind of like bring out the subjects that you're trying to take at night, you're going to want to go with the Note 10, especially since it does have that mode available for selfies as well with the front-facing camera. Now, moving on, we're going to go to a scene where most of these photos you're going to see from now on are going to be some that I took around sunset a couple days ago. And I mentioned that because on the iPhone XS Max, you can see that the color is a little bit warmer, where it's really trying to capture that golden glow that was coming off of the sun. Where on the Galaxy Note 10, it's a more uniformed image and it's a more kind of balanced color there, which that's going to be a personal preference for which one you like. But one thing that I really do like is that when you look in the background between the trees and you look at the clouds on the photo with the Note 10, you can see the detail from the clouds, right? You can see the individual clouds, but on the iPhone, that background and the sky is just completely blown out, so you don't have any detail there. So the dynamic range is handled a lot better on the Note 10. And as we move on, we're going to take a look at a couple of selfies that I took. So I really like the color coming off of the iPhone for this particular picture. My skin tone looks a lot more pleasing, and don't mind the dog hair that's on my shirt. My dog sheds a lot. I can't get rid of it. But also too, I do like the fact though on the Galaxy Note, you can go wider with the front-facing selfies. So if you want to get a couple more people in your picture, or you just want more of the background, it's a lot better for that. Where with the iPhone, you just stuck with that same type of size for your photo. And then as you move on to this next set, which I have to say that these are probably my favorite pictures that I took the entire day. And both of the phones did a great job all the way through. But there are some differences between these two photos, especially when you look at the sharpness and also the details in the Galaxy Note 10, where if you look at the tree and also in the bushes, you can see a lot more of the individual elements that make up those things better than you can see on the iPhone. But I do like the way that the iPhone is more of just a really smooth, inviting image, where on the Note 10, especially when you look at the clouds are really darker compared to what they were actually in real life. So it looks a little bit too over processed, where on the iPhone, it's just a really consistent image all the way through. So this one is really tough to pick. It's going to be a little bit more of your personal preference, but I think both of them did a great job. Okay, so going from those photos to this one, you can see that they went in two totally different directions here. Where on the Galaxy Note 10, it does have that golden glow, as I mentioned before, from the sun during sunset. But on the iPhone, it did balance out the colors. But I really like the way it handled the petals on this flower, where they're still soft but still clear. Where on the Note 10, they're just like way too processed. So I personally would go with the iPhone XS Max in this particular photo, just because it's just a more pleasing image. Okay, so another close-up of some flowers here, but I decided to go with using the live focus mode on the Note 10 and also portrait mode on the iPhone. And both of these modes are going to be geared at making sure your subject is in focus and really blurring out that background. And I have to go with the Note 10 on this one, because not only are the colors a little bit more kind of natural, a little bit more kind of neutral, not as punchy as the colors on the iPhone, which I do like. It does look good, but I really like that creamy background that the Note 10 was able to produce, where on the iPhone, it's not as, blurry. Yeah, I'm kind of nitpicking, but I like the colors on the iPhone. I see why a lot of people will probably go with that photo too, but I'm a little bit more leaning towards the Note 10 in this one, just overall for the picture that it produced. Okay, so next up, I have to say that I would easily go with the Note 10 on this one. I just think that it did have that glow from the sun, as I mentioned before, and the iPhone just looks a little dull and just really tried to compensate for the color way too much on this one. So Note 10 for me. And this next example is just going to be me using the optical zoom on this phone. So we have it just using just a regular camera on both of these phones and then zooming in, and you can see that the details are pretty much the same as we talked about before with both of these phones. The Note 10, a little bit warmer, the iPhone a little bit cooler when it comes to the colors, but both of them still produce really good images. Okay, so now let's transition over from photos to videos, starting with the front-facing cameras. And I did use the live focus video mode on the Note 10, which is going to be blurring out that background and trying to keep me in focus. And then on the iPhone, I just used the only mode that you got with the front-facing camera for video. And so I have to say that live focus video is something that is still a work in progress. And if you're moving around, it doesn't do that great of a job as if you were just standing still. And it just still looks a little bit too processed, where just a regular, selfie video mode on most phones will look fine just because it's not trying to do too much. So I will continue to test out the live focus video mode, but for right now, I would still kind of lean towards just using the regular video mode on both of these phones. Okay, so for this one, we have the iPhone at the top and the Note at the bottom. And I do want to say that you may see like a little bit of a shimmer or a kind of a glow on the iPhone from time to time. And that's because I have both of these phones pretty close together, and the Note 10, as you can see, is pretty reflective, and that was causing that little kind of flash of light sometimes that you see. But if you ignore that, you can see that I think that the iPhone does a better job in the video department and really just handling the highlights and the shadows and everything when it comes to the video. Okay, so now it's time to test out the video stabilization from both of these phones. So on the Note 10 Plus, you have their improved Super Steady mode, and on the iPhone, they don't really have a dedicated mode for it. It's just kind of built in. And I am going to be running this entire test that you will see, and I have to say that both of these phones do a great job, but the Note 10 does shine on those particular type of cases where I do have some significant movements, or if I'm moving the camera up and down, as you can probably see, it doesn't kind of hunt and jump around like you sometimes find on the iPhone. It's just like a really just smooth, consistent video all the way through my entire journey up these stairs when I was feeling like Rocky running up these stairs. But anyway, yeah, both of them really good, but I had to give it to the Note 10 Plus. Okay, so hopefully those were some good examples of photos and videos to kind of give you an idea about what these phones are bringing to the table. But one thing you can't ignore when you do a camera comparison is going to be the camera software, and easily the Galaxy Note 10 Plus wins in this particular category just because it has more stuff that you can do. Now, to be fair, the iPhone just has those kind of basic things that I think most people will just primarily be using. But the Note 10 Plus gives you some extra things, maybe depending on your situation, you may want to take advantage of, including a Pro mode where you can control all the aspects of the camera to really dial in that picture to how you like it. And then also just a bunch more different presets. And even no matter what you think about Bixby, I do like the Bixby Vision mode to be able to allow you to capture objects, to be able to search for them on Amazon and buy them. And then just the fact that I can change all the settings for the cameras, whether it's just for photos and videos inside of the camera app, where in the iPhone you still have to go into the settings app to be able to do that. I would have to go with the Galaxy Note 10 easily with the software. Okay, so I showed you the software, the photos and videos from these phones, and hopefully I showed you a little bit of my skill that I have with taking smartphone photography. But one of the things that I've always wanted to get better at is DSLR photography, and this transitions us over to our sponsor for this video, which is Skillshare. Get it? I showed you some of my skills and we're going to Skillshare. But anyway, Skillshare is an online learning community, and they have over 25,000 different courses. Now, something cool happened because I came across a street photography course from somebody I've been following on Instagram for a number of years now. He goes by the handle Trash Hand. So it was cool to be able to see how he frames some of his shots and just gets those images that I've been liking on the gram for a long time. So yeah, finding courses from people that you know are really legit at what they do is what this website is all about. And so Skillshare is giving away a free 2-month unlimited access trial to my subscribers who click the link in the description box. And after that, it's only around $10 a month. So I don't know why you wouldn't do that. This is a pretty long trial to kind of see how it is. And if you like doing it, keep on with it, and you can definitely learn some more about anything that you're trying to get better at. Okay, so this wraps up this comparison video, and to be fair, I have to say that the iPhone XS Max is a year old and the Galaxy Note 10 Plus just came out, so it's not really a total fair fight because the new iPhones are going to be coming out anytime now with brand new cameras, so I will revisit this comparison then. But until that time, leave your comment down below and let me know which phone that you would personally go with between these two particular phones. And also be sure to check me out on social media, subscribe to me on YouTube, and like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.